Welcome back, guys. This is tutorial 6 of the Python for Beginners course. I hope you are well, and without any delay, let's begin. In this video, I want to talk about methods of the list. As we discussed before, the list is a mutable data type and it is a built-in data type by Python, and it's very powerful. So it provides us with some additional functionalities that the mutability offers, due to which we can add some elements in the list or remove them. Let's discuss them one by one. So this is the first method that allows us to add elements in the list, and that is the append method. It's usually used to add elements one by one in the list. As you see, I have created a variable empty list here, right? So if I want to add this amino, the string here, into this list, I can use this append method here, and we can use this continuously one after another, and this will result in a list of these three elements at index 0, 1 and 2. Let's see. I'm sorry about it's taking some time to connect with the server. So this will just return the list to us. Now, as we can see, the list is here. Appending just adds extra elements at the end of the list. It always adds at the end of the list. Please remember that, guys. And the one thing you should know about append is that it takes the whole element as one. So if we provide a list here, it will add the list as it is to the end of the list. As you can see, the list is added as a list as it is at the end of the list, right? So we are adding list inside a list. This is a nested list, and we have discussed this and how to access these elements. I hope you saw the video and it's clear. And we can also add or append tuples at the end. So this should be clear enough now, but we should cover every data type as much as we can. So this is all about append. The next method is extend. It's just like append, however, it provides us with the functionality to add or merge two lists. So as we can see, we have two lists here, the A here and the B. Those both lists can be added together using the extend statement. As you can see, if I extend B into A, I will get this output. As we can see that we are printing A, and we have extended these elements 4, 5, 6 into A. This is a very simple method, and there should be no issues in this. We can actually use it without declaring the variables. As you can see, I have declared the variable here. We can do that without it, in just providing it the list. Please let's try something here. Please notice that if I provide a list inside a list, it will append this. It will sorry about this. So it will actually look at it as a list inside a list. So it will add this as an element at the end. So we can actually have a nested list with using this extend method here. I hope that's clear. And we can actually extend using a tuple. This is not an issue, and it can take any iterable statement or data type. We can also use slicing to extend a list inside a list. As you can see, I'm using actually slicing here. We are adding 0 at the 0th index here. With this statement here, I am actually adding one element at the beginning of the list. So you can use this method to add something at the beginning, and you can use append here to add something at the end. I have covered both of them, and I'm pretty sure this is a simple statement where we are actually slicing this the variable a into two parts and assigning new values to the beginning of the beginning index or the 0th index of the a here. This is pretty clear, and I hope there is no confusion in that. We can add as many as statements, as many as elements at the beginning. As you can see, if I type here -3 as well, it's gonna take it and add it at the beginning. As you can see, it's just added that, and I hope that's clear. So can we do that with any statement? Yes, we can. We can actually use this slicing up to any index, and we are actually replacing those elements with new ones. For example, here the index 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these elements are being replaced by these two elements, and we can use that to change those elements into other elements, or the provided to other provided elements, right? I hope that's clear. And extending using the plus, this is a sign that is used to concatenate this list. This is used in strings also. You add this or concatenate strings, two strings into one. This I can't use the concatenation statement here for the list. It's actually adding both of those lists into one big list, as you can see. So concatenation is another term, and we will be discussing that in the strings, so don't worry about it. I just want you to get introduced with these terminologies beforehand. And we can also use this plus equals operator here, and we have discussed about this. I hope you remember that. The last method, the last extend string, is used to add each and every element inside the string one by one to the list. I hope this is not a very big deal. We have discussed strings, and we discussed that these are actually a group of characters, and each of these characters are actually added at the end of the list using the extend statement here. That's pretty much clear. And what if we want to add something at another index? So for that we use the insert statement, the insert method. Here is the insert method, and it's actually pretty easy to use. It just adds the element that we want to add at a particular index. We have to provide two arguments here. The first one is the 1, the index, and the second one is the element itself. So as we can see, the element mango is added at index 1 here, 0, 1. I hope you got that. And we can do that at the end of the statement, or we can -1 means that we are actually trying to add just before the end of the statement here. So we are actually aiming for the second last index here. So as you can see, the length function will give us the length of this this fruit variable, and this is actually 3 here, and 3 minus 1, that is 2, right? So it is actually adding at index 2, as you can see, 0, 1, 2. So the second last element, second last index, is actually appending this banana here. I hope you got that. And we can do this for the last index also. As you can see, we added index at the last. And checking this, please ignore that. And the next method is the clear. Now we have appended or added elements, right? So what if we want to delete something in list? Yes, that's possible. We can clear out this whole list into nothing. This, as you can see, it is returning us a empty list, and this is possible using the clear method. The next is copying a list, and it is very important to understand that we can actually use a copy method. So I have to clear this out, sorry. So we have discussed copy before, and I guess that's clear, but I have to mention all the give me a second. So we are actually declaring another variable here so that I can store that. So we have discussed copy before, and it's essentially to create a copy. That's no big deal, and I have to discuss all of these because it's important for me to mention those methods. As you can see, it's copying this list inside this new variable fruit2. Hope that's clear. And the next method is count method. Now what does this do is it returns the number of occurrence of an element inside a list. As we can see, we have a number, and we want to know how many times this 9 element appears. As you can see, it's appearing 2 times, and it's returning this value 2 here. This is a very simple method, but it's very useful sometimes. And the next method is index, and it returns the index of the first occurrence of the element. For example, we are actually trying to find out the index of element 9 here. The one thing you should know about index is that once it has found the element at any index, it starts from 0, and whenever it has found the element somewhere, like in this case it found the element at 3 index, it won't go further. This is very essential and very essential property of index, and you should remember this. So as you can see, it's actually stopping at 3 and it's not going ahead. If I remove this and add something else like 5 here, it will go till 5th index and return the value. I hope that's clear. And next is delete, and we can actually delete any index in a list using the del command. As you can see, we are deleting the apple here, and before I have printed it before and after deleting the first 0th index. I hope that's clear. The next one is remove, and we can remove a element by its name only. We can actually remove this element orange by using the orange element itself. So we are actually telling the list that please find this element and remove that. Okay, so it's removing, and it's I think it's pretty clear what it is doing. The pop statement, this is very essential for those who want to use list as queues or stacks. If you don't know about these yet, these are data structures that we use to store data. Now we will get introduced to these in another video. So if you already know about it, this is a method that you should know. The pop statement, it will pop out one element at a time. For example, the fruits here, it's popping out mango. At the end, we are using the pop state method here to pop the last element, and by default it pops the first element. As you can see, if I try to pop anything, that will pop last index, the last one, and if I want to pop the first one, I can give it 0. So this is actually returning me the first or the index 0 value, and I'm storing that in value x and printing it out. If you use the pop statement itself, it will just return the value and it won't print it. If I do this, actually it's saved in the back end. Okay, so this is a collab functionality. I hope you know this. So if I don't store this value anywhere, it will just return the value and forget about it, right? So you have to store somewhere the value of pop statement to access that. Please remember that and use it wisely. Okay, now moving on. Removing an element with del statement, that we have done this before, but this is a little different. In this case we are, oh yeah, we have done this. So let us just make sure this is not confusing for you guys, and we will add it just below it. And yeah, you can actually delete this index. We are actually deleting this element itself. You can use this also. They both are similar cases. I'll just add it into another code block for you guys, right? You don't need this now. So string, in strings we can we know that these are a collection of characters, and we can use list to store all these characters using this string split statement. If we want to split this data and signs into two, we can split this using the split command, and it essentially what it does, it let me add commas here so that it will just separate the string according to the separator. So by default the separator is space, and if I add commas here, it will separate using the comma. As you can see, I have not used this double quote here, so it will just divide this into different elements according to the separator that we provide. By default it's space, so it will just give us data, commas, signs, right? So I hope that's clear. Sort function, we can use this function or state method to sort the elements inside the list with regards to the ASCII code, right? So these all are actually sorted according to the ASCII number they have. ASCII, if you don't know about ASCII codes, and they are actually, you can search about this, and these are actually essential for programmers to know about, because all the characters inside computers are stored into 0 and 1s, right? So these this is the convention that decide which alphabet or which element will get which zeros and ones, or what is the value. So if you have to understand this in simple language, in list, this first list, it will just arrange them alphabetically in ascending order. For example, if I type A here, the A will appear first, and it will be at first index, right? So if I am taking A here, it will be at first. I'm not printing those, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay. So if I sort those, as you can see, we are actually printing this A first, right? Why is it so? Because A will appear alphabetically first, A, then B, then C, D, E, F, and so on. And if we sort numbers, they will sort in ascending order. The reverse is also possible using the reverse statement. We discussed that. And as you can see, the strings can also be sorted, right? And I'll show you how it can be reversed. As you can see, we are actually sorting this according to the ASCII conventions, A, B, C, D, and E. And if I reverse this is also possible to print the T, then S, then N, then F, right? So I hope that's clear, and we can do this for numbers as well. That's all for this video. And min-max functions are not methods inside this. These are actually used due to the immutable properties of the list. we have done almost all the methods in list, and this is the last one, the min-max function. These are functions, and functions are different from methods. I just want to discuss these because they are actually using the fundamental mutability of the list, right? You might have guessed min-max function only returns the minimum or maximum values, and in some cases it will just provide us the minimum and maximum value. The last function